I can't remember anything. Can't tell if this is true or dream. Deep down inside I feel the scream. This terrible silence stops me. Now that the war is through with me, I'm waking up, I cannot see that there's not much left of me. Nothing is real but pain now. Hold my breath as I wish for death. Oh please God, wake me.
Blast my static! Blast my good shot!
Hey everyone, what's going on? It's Adventure 14 here. There's a guy over there with a crown. He's like freezing everything. There's like snow and crap. I think he just killed somebody. Which would mean that we have to be right now in the late Mushroom War era. It's when the Ice King managed to gain his powers, found the crown, and brought it home from a Scandinavian dock worker. If you want to know more about this, watch the rest of the video. You can tell I went through a lot of trouble with this video. Like I'm not messing around. We're going through everything. It's cold out here. Catch my death of cold. Another thing that came of the Mushroom War was a major change to the planet's surface. You may be able to notice in some pictures of the Earth from Adventure Time, there's a huge chunk missing out of the planet. That's from above. The seasonal change was also weird. It seems that most of the planet is seasonally stunted, meaning that it doesn't seem to experience seasons like our world does. Some of our planet is seasonally stunted, but it has some kinds of seasons left. Like near the equator, it doesn't really get a whole lot hotter or a whole lot colder. It stays pretty much the same all year long. But they do have things like the rainy seasons, hurricanes, stuff like that. But Ooo doesn't seem to experience that ever. The only thing they've had that was close to like a flood season or something was in some episodes of the Ice Kingdom melting and causing flooding. So the only time they've experienced flooding or anything like that has been out of unnatural causes, meaning it's not a season. So what happened? Basically, the bombs going off, it was so much power that actually changed the Earth's climate and its rotation. And it changed the distance from the sun. Its actual rotation of the sun is messed up and has altered it into this kind of always fairly warm climate. It's not unreasonably hot any time of year. It's just warm. The only place where it's overly hot are in deserts, places like that. Like the Desert of Doom is pretty unreasonably hot. I mean, who knows? I don't know why this is. Nobody really does. But for some reason, that planet is pretty well messed up now from those bombs. Now, it's something that's a slight debate online about the war and the planet and everything, is where exactly is Ooo? Because it's kind of hard to tell because everything is seasonally stunted. The only thing we can do is try to tell geographically. A lot of people like to pretty much just say online it's wherever they may live. It's like all the Aussies think it's Australia and everybody from North Korea thinks it's North Korea. But I think it's the USA, and I know I live in the USA, but I actually have some reasoning for this. There are episodes where we see some pretty American things. It just seems weird though sometimes because a lot of the items that they find are in different languages. And not 100% sure why. And a lot of the military vehicles have a Korean logo, but also could be an old US logo. It used to have like the star and the circle on old Jeeps and stuff. And now that's kind of Korea's thing. So I'm not really sure what to think sometimes. But here's my thought. In one of the episodes of Joshua and Margaret, I'm actually just going to show you the title card, so I'm not going to bother trying to figure out in my head which one it was. We actually get to see this. Can you guess what it is? You got it? Okay, I'll tell you. That, my friends, is the Golden Gate Bridge. That's right, the Golden Gate Bridge. Meaning, it's in
San Francisco. Here's San Francisco, here's the Golden Gate Bridge, here's the Golden Gate Bridge that's shown in the show, here's the regular Golden Gate Bridge again. It's the same thing in the same place, it's the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco.
So, if that's there, Ooo has to be placed in the U.S. And geographically, things like the Desert of Doom line up with things in the U.S. like Arizona, which is a desert, which I find pretty interesting. So if you have the Desert of Doom and Arizona lining up, and the Ice Kingdom isn't really a cold spot, not naturally. The Ice King causes it to be that way, power of the crown and all. There's not really an argument to be made there. It pretty much has to be the U.S. Or at least that's my opinion. A lot of people's also their argument is that it's nowhere near shaped correctly. And I agree, it's not anymore. But I believe that most of it is underwater. We actually get to see this in a few episodes, including the episode Ocean of Fear, where Finn is afraid of the ocean. Ooh, but that was really confusing for you. An episode called Ocean of Fear and Finn's afraid of the ocean. That was back when everything was like very obviously named. It's like episode named this is what you get. So in that episode Ocean of Fear, we actually get to see cities underwater. Like deep down. So basically Finn's afraid of the ocean, so Jake ends up taking him under the ocean in a submarine to go see all these wonderful things that are under the water. And instead of our normal underwater life, we see a lot of underwater life mixed in with destroyed city. A whole destroyed city underwater. It's like probably the size of Philadelphia or New York. I don't know. I have all like U.S. cities because I live in the U.S. Sorry. Hong Kong, that's a city, right? I know geography. Yeet. So we have a plethora of signs. Plethora? Is that a good word for that? Am I using that correctly? I don't know. Somebody tell me in the comments. We have a large amount of information telling us that this is in fact the USA, meaning that the lich bomb also went off in the USA. Same continent.
And that continent was kinda wrecked up and war-ridden already. But a lot of the destroyed stuff that you see was destroyed by that bomb on its own. It was such a powerful blast that it affected almost everything across the land. Like a lot of times when you see wrecked up buildings in Ooo, they're all leaning in one direction. And that's because they were actually pushed over by the bomb. Like the picture I showed you earlier of San Francisco. Look how the buildings all bend in one direction like that. And as far as I know, this isn't even that close to the Lich's well of power. This is fairly far away from there, meaning that, from the blast site, had enough power to wreck up those buildings for miles and miles and miles. That is a huge bomb. That is a lot of power. In fact, it is so much power that it brought magic back in the world.
In Adventure Time's world, there are 4 elements. Fire, ice, candy, and slime. I don't know why. Don't ask me. I don't know why they chose to make it that. I couldn't tell you. Ask the creators. Go to a Comic-Con or something. Have that be the question like, what made you do that as the elements? I don't know. The current elementals are Patient St. Pim, who is still alive, sitting under the ocean. Princess Bubblegum, Flame Princess, and Slime Princess. And Ice King's kind of almost like a ice elemental stand-in, since like Patient St. Pim is like, you know, just sitting around hanging out somewhere. I guess technically not under the ocean anymore, but like underground somewhere, you know. So basically the bomb, being the way it was, you know, destroyed life, which was kind of its purpose, you know, to destroy the enemy.
And it also destroyed the current elementals. They were basically these just kind of average everyday Joes who were just like hanging out in the city, and they kind of managed to find each other and figure out they all had these powers. So while they were kind of trying to figure them out, they, figured out it wasn't really a magic world, and they kind of had to keep it hush-hush. So basically they were very limited with their abilities. But if they died, new elementals would be born. So they died, some new elementals were born in between, I'm sure, and then we have our current elementals, which is, again, Princess Bubblegum, Flame Princess, Slime Princess, and Patience St. Pim technically didn't die. So Patience St. Pim, one of the average Joes back in the city back in the day, froze herself, sunk to the bottom of the ocean, bomb went off, killed the other 3. So now we have the Patience St. Pim underground right now. It used to be under the ocean, now underground, or kind of under ice. I don't know. She's in the Ice Kingdom somewhere. And we have the other 3 who are dead, and now, current day, resurrected as Flame Princess, Slime Princess, and Princess Bubblegum. So they have elemental abilities, and they're part of what keeps the magic and Ooo balanced, right? So they're almost like a balancing force to keep everything in line, the elements. You know how that stuff works. So the elementals started getting a little more intense with their abilities then, after they were reborn and figured out who they were in this new magical world. Things that hadn't really ever existed, or hadn't at least existed in a long time. Vampires came into existence, zombies, monsters, all these crazy things. Inanimate objects being alive, and the bomb did that. The radioactivity from the bomb actually managed to kickstart magic again. But in doing so, obviously brought along the lich. The lich basically is just a destructive force that wishes to destroy everything. It didn't technically create him, but it resurrected him? I don't know. Basically, a long time ago with this guy Evergreen. Evergreen was one of the ice elementals before human society, so there was just like dinosaurs and stuff around.
The lich was on his way to Earth in the form of a comet. So basically, he was on his way down. Evergreen gets his crew together and is like, holy crap, guys, I don't want to die from this thing, let's kill it. So he creates a crown that can give one wish to the user. Only one, though. So he's going to use his wish to make the horrible comet that wants to wreak destruction upon the Earth just disappear. And this comet's like burning green, has like these little horn flame things curling all around. Did I say corn flames? I don't know. Horn flame things curling around. Look, it's very lich-esque. It's the spirit of the lich on its way down. So basically, he creates this crown, and his little butler guy that he's got, he mutated dinosaur, I guess, mutated dinosaur brain. I don't even know, but its name is Gunter. So at the end, there's some complications, and Gunter ends up having to make the wish, but it was what his heart truly desired. And this guy really looked up to Evergreen a lot. So his deepest wish was to be Evergreen instead of stopping the comet. So the crown decided to interpret that as, yo, I will make the wearer of me exactly as close to Evergreen as possible. But since Gunter was kind of immature and not quite right in the head, it didn't really make Evergreen all that great. So basically, we have the Ice King, which is what Gunter looked at Evergreen as, kind of. So basically we have the Ice King, and whoever puts on the crown turns into him slowly. There have been a number of victims of this crown over the years before the crown was lost, and then eventually dug up out of the ocean by a Scandinavian dock worker, and then Simon Petrikov got it from him. It was right around the same time that Simon Petrikov also rediscovered the Enchiridion. So it was like all these pieces perfectly came together in the middle of this global catastrophe, which was this mushroom war, to create magic again, or to at least revive it.
Now, to make this a proper Adventure Time Mushroom War video, we need to have some kind of, it's going to have to be guessed, but kind of an explanation of who is exactly fighting here. See, the Mushroom War is just a nickname for the characters. This would have been probably classified as a World War III scenario, and it would have been placed in the 80s. The thing is, at that time, they also had futuristic technology. They only had it in war-type stuff, though, like they had like laser weapons and like fighter planes, like serious fighter planes that didn't really exist at the time and weren't known. But the reason that those exist and it's all war equipment stuff is because, well, when a country is in danger, the military forces of that country are a lot more willing to put a lot of time, effort, and money into technological advances. If a country is pretty hard to beat and they can just send soldiers out to other countries to fight and they don't have anybody invading them, the need for technological advances is kind of low. But if you're getting beaten by another country or you're kind of like in an arms race with another country, technological advances become a lot more important. And obviously the USA of this world got in an arms race with somebody else in this world. Whether that be North Korea, China, most likely not North Korea. North Korea is small, and yes, they have nukes, but the thing is, it's easy to blow them off the face of the planet. So you're pretty much looking at somebody a lot bigger. I'm talking Russia, China, countries like that. The big countries, lots of land, hard to just, blow them up, like wipe them off the face of the earth with nukes. It has to be somewhere that's hard to nuke, or the US would have just nuked them into non-existence. The US is also hard to nuke. You'd have to hit it with a lot of nukes in a lot of different places, and if you have any hope of beating the USA in any kind of fight, you need to send a nuke, blow it up above the atmosphere, so that the power from the nuke comes down as electromagnetic pulse and wipes out all the technology. Anything technological, computer chips, all that gets wiped out. They're no longer usable. It'll destroy them. It's like the same effect that the sun has when there's a solar flare. In modern times, if a nuke was set off in that fashion in the US, the death toll would be about 60%. And that's counting the people who live in warm places, way too warm, who all of a sudden won't have water, air conditioning, any of that. And that's also counting the people in the cold places that suddenly won't have electric heat. And all that death would happen in the span of about 3 months. In the 80s, that wouldn't have been as catastrophic as it is today. See, today, we have computers in everything. You see, there's not really anything that's a machine that runs without a computer anymore. Even your car. Yes, unless your car is like 1970 or before, something along that era, it's not going to run after an EMP. And I know what you're thinking, it's like, but it's a gas engine. Yes, but there's so much computerized stuff in your car, like think about it. Especially if you have like an electrically injected system instead of like the normal, like the engine just draws gas. You're done for. Anything automatic transmission, not gonna work. There's too much computerized stuff in our day-to-day for us to really be able to survive very well if an EMP wipes out our power grid. Back then, yes, you wouldn't have electricity, but a lot of your cars might still run, especially since there were a ton of cars left over from the 70s, because it was only 10 years ago. So there are going to be cars everywhere that are going to run okay. So since it wouldn't be very effective, we can pretty much rule out that they would use an EMP. There's no point to doing it. So this war, like most wars, probably started by deploying troops. And at some point when that didn't work, they started with the vehicles, airstrikes. And eventually airstrikes and regular bombing wasn't enough anymore. Who knows who launched the first nuke? I mean, there's a ton of countries who could have done it. But someone at some point launched the first nuke, and the other countries took suit. So most of the countries in the world started bombing each other pretty much constantly. And this is how it got the name the Mushroom War. It was named that because of all the mushroom clouds from the nukes always going off. So basically, whoever didn't die from all these countries nuking each other would have died when the Lich came back. Because when the Lich came back, he came back seriously for real. Came with armies, fire, destruction, and he basically pretty much killed off the rest of society, along with help from random monsters and vampires.
I mean the Lich, he's not really something you want to mess around with. The Lich is a dangerous bugger, alright?
So we've now worked our way to the end of the Mushroom War. We're like done with the Mushroom War now, it's kind of over. The Lich now reigns supreme, but he wasn't known as the Lich until people gave him that name. The few survivors and the new people that were being created from radiation and like this revival of magic and Ooo are now calling him the Lich King, because basically he rules the land. He just goes and destroys anything he can find that's living. Until one day, when a great hero known as Billy pummeled the Lich into the sap of the tree in the Candy Kingdom. Basically, this is the life-giving tree, the one at the center that goes all the way up through the whole castle. And there the Lich would stay for a good long time, trapped in amber. While that was happening, Marceline was on the other side of Ooo near the ocean with a whole tribe of humans. Basically, she was protecting these humans so that they could make it off of this continent and go somewhere where it was safer and less monster/lich ridden. So while Marceline stays in Ooo, because that's where she's decided her home is, I guess, the humans head across the ocean with some other tribes of humans eventually to some islands. We're not sure who these other tribes of humans were, but they were also joined by Moko, who saw a business opportunity by teching them up, basically. He basically sent a bunch of technology over there and just absolutely loaded them up, so they became a very futuristic type of society after, couple hundred years. So within those couple hundred years, back in Ooo, a lot of the OG animals seemed to die off. And then a lot of new talking animals and weird mutated creatures started to rule the land instead. Some of them took on a very animal-like appearance, and some of them look a little more human, like Princess Bubblegum. Princess Bubblegum basically came from something she calls the Mother Gum, which is basically some sort of radiation-affected creature that was created out of gum that was just around, I guess. And basically it sticks to the side of destroyed buildings and hangs off of ceilings and tends to produce a lot of offspring pretty constantly. So over the next couple hundred years to modern day, the Ice King kind of stayed in solitude. Marceline kind of just bummed around from place to place until she met her boyfriend, and then she broke up with him, bummed around from place to place. Princess Bubblegum tried to put together a family. The family got destroyed. She started work on her kingdom with a few solitary citizens. Got a lot of citizens, made the Candy Kingdom huge. Human society continued to grow for a long while across the ocean. Mo, the founder of Moko, decided to live with his robots in his factory in the Desert of Doom after he made a ton of money and traded goods from the humans for teching them up right after the Mushroom War. And that, as far as I can tell, is exactly what happened with the Mushroom War, hopefully in the right order. Oh, and I know people are gonna be mad about my hair. Like, it's all short now, and I had it, like, slicked back, and I looked decent before. I know. This was not on purpose. This was a series of mistakes. So it'll grow back. It'll be all good in like a month. I'm more upset than you are. I guarantee it. I'm devastated. I want my hair back very badly. So, did you like the video? I sure enjoyed making this one. Wasn't overly complicated for me at all. I was fine. So if you did like it, you should definitely hit the like button and, you know, subscribe maybe if you want more content like this. It'll let me know, because if like this video comes out and then I get a bunch more subscriptions, it'll actually tell me that you guys want to see more of specifically what I did with this video and that you were happy with the content. And yes, I am very aware that I look like I came like right out of the 1940s now. I'm very aware of that fact. I just don't care. So anyway, yeah, again, should totally like and subscribe and stuff. It'll make you feel good, I swear. Like, it literally, I think other YouTubers have said that, like, it makes you happier or something along those lines. I don't know how much stock I put into it, but I'm willing to go along with it. I'm not willing to go along with it for any particular reason, it's just that it gets me views. Because, you see, my video gets recommended the more that you guys like and subscribe and stuff. So the more I get you guys to like and subscribe, the better my videos do.
So it's kind of something in it for both of us, because you get to see more of my videos if you like them. And then also other people get to, and then I get more people seeing my videos. Not that it does me a whole lot of good or anything, because I don't make any money, so. That's kind of why I gotta like quiet stuff. So that's kind of why I gotta like ask myself the question, like, you know, why am I still going? Because if I'm not making any money, then it's purely for the benefit of you guys and the benefit of me. Of like, I like making the content. So really, there's no money ulterior motive for me to do this. It's just that I like making content, and I like making you guys happy. Like, there have been several videos that I've made just because, like, one person asked. I actually had several people ask for this video. Like, over the last year, I think I've had maybe 4 or 5 people ask, like, yo, Buck, can you please make this video? And I was like, I guess I can make this video. Yeah, and I didn't want to, like, you know, I didn't have plans to do it right away. I had plans to do it later on. So, you know, I kind of kept that in the back of my head, and I kept thinking about it. And eventually, I actually got around to it, which is now. Sup, Shoko? What's up? Come here. Come here. Oh, you're a pretty dog. Come here. Everybody, this is the newest member of the crew. Her name is Shoko. We got her a little while ago. I haven't had her on the channel yet, so you guys don't know she really exists. But this is her. Look at the camera. She hasn't learned that trick yet. Look at the camera. Look over there. So I finally got to that idea, and now the video is here. Good. That's wonderful. So I do hope that you guys like it, because it's something I've actually made. There was one other draft of this video that didn't work out. I don't remember what was going on with it. It might have been too big of a project. I'm not sure. For the time, because I started working on it early last year, early 2020, or was it late? Sorry about that, y'all. Camera battery died. So like I was saying, I think it was either early 2020 or late 2019. And if that's the case, then yeah, probably at that time, especially for my my schedule that time, it was probably too big of a project. Ah, crap. So it probably ended up getting postponed because of that. But this is finally it. I've finally gotten around to it. So, pretty happy. Okay, this is gonna be the third try on this 13, isn't it? I think so. Yeah, I don't know. See, it's 13. It's unlucky. I can't get it in. That's what the problem is. It's the unlucky ball because it's 13. Or not. Maybe not so much. See, the way I look at it is, if you're going to do a big project video, and you don't really have the resources at the time to do it, it's going to be a bad big project video, and it's not going to go well. So I would rather put it off and wait just a little while than try to go in kind of half-cocked and crazy, right? Because you know what? I hate to make a bad video. So something else I've put thought into recently are the hopefully upcoming live streams over this next year, 2021. Or this year now, because I'm filming this in 2020, but it'll be 2021 by the time this actually comes out, I think. I'm pretty sure. You know, it's hard to tell, but I think I have this month already covered, and it's December. So like I said in the end of the year video, the purpose of this next year, like my main goal of this next year, is of course to just continue to make like better and better content and to interact with you guys more, which is the purpose of live streams and that hopefully focus group I'll be doing as long as I can get enough participants. So, if you want to be part of that, go ahead and join the Discord. I can definitely make that happen. I'm shooting good this morning. I would also like to have like more larger projects this year, because the plan was to have more big projects this past year 2020, which I'm currently in, so I guess last year now, I don't know. But the plan was to have more bigger projects in 2020, and we kind of did, but the thing was it was like maybe one more than like every other year. And I think Corona kind of didn't help that, because it slowed everything down with like, you know, the public and the economy and all that, and things just didn't really go over well. And I screamed. Like, I definitely didn't feel on top of the world for like a good bit. So, if you guys can forgive me for that, I got kind of depressed for a while. You guys can forgive me, because you know what, you guys get depressed, I forgive you. You don't watch the videos for a while because you know, like, you just can't handle things. I'm not gonna blame you. So, you know, share the same giving with me. Man, I just like wiped out that table. That was pretty good. Not bad at all. Hey, you know, if you've been watching the channel for a little bit and you happen to watch a signed target, you might notice this is the same spot that we filmed the end in. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so I think that's all I got to talk about. I like every now and then like to put in the end of videos, and this is something that started in 2022, is I wanting to talk. Just like to just have a talk. This is why I want to start these live streams, because I kind of want this like interaction where I just like play a game of pool and talk, and listen to my phone ring and talk, that sort of thing, and kind of have a personal connection. All right, so I guess that's it. Holy moly, boys! Well, thanks for watching the video. It's been a good time, I think. I had an interesting time filming it. I got to run around and do some stuff. It was a good time. Still snowing outside. Looks nice. Looks like some of the snow might stick. It looks like it's starting to build up in the one field over there. So basically what I'm saying is it looks pretty outside. Alright, thank you very much everybody for watching, and I will catch the next one. Thanks guys, goodbye. I might have been a little bit rambly through part of the video. Forgive me, I didn't sleep last night. At all. No sleep. No sleep for the weary. Please help me.